Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode we are going to be tackling that hole in the roof. We're going to take that thing off of there as well. So in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to remove the headlining, which it should be okay. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be okay. It's been a long time since I've removed the headliner. Oh, I need to clean that as well. That's a disgrace. But yeah, so we need to remove the headliner first, because obviously what we're going to have to do, it to get that out anyway. And then we'll fix it. We'll get the whole roof sprayed, because as you can see, there's a massive scratch thing there. I'm assuming that the light bar for the vehicle went across here somewhere, which is what's caused that mess. So yeah, so we'll get the headliner out, we'll fill that hole, we'll get the roof sprayed, and we'll be good to go. So let's just crack on with it. So as I was stripping apart this side, I didn't bother videoing it because it's exactly the same as that side. But one thing that dawned on me is this cable. Now this cable is going to run off into the roof somewhere and get disconnected. But it's because it's got lights in the mirror. And then I thought to myself, there's an airbag there and the car still got power. So what we need to do just super quick is we're going to need to disconnect the battery and then leave the car for about 20 minutes to make sure there's no charge left in any of the cabling. The reason why is because we're going to be taking that section off and there's an airbag behind it. The last thing I want to do is set off the airbags, because well, if you've ever had an airbag go off, it's incredibly loud. It's most likely going to break your nose if it hits you in the face. And I don't really want that. Although it'd probably make really good YouTube content, but I definitely don't want that. So we'll disconnect the battery just super quickly, and I'll see you guys back inside the car. So while I'm lying here taking these bolts out, contemplating my life choices, for anybody that doesn't know, that is a curtain airbag. And it's the reason why we that's the reason why we disconnected the battery, because the last thing you want to do is for that there to think there has been some kind of collision and it go off, because that is a very big airbag. It'd be insanely loud. And yeah, it would just make for a pretty bad day. Right, so a little bit of time has passed, mainly about 48 hours. But I've cleaned up that roof rail completely. It looks fine, in good nick. So that's cool. But I noticed on the other one, you can see it here, it's the reason why I took it off. There's a hole in it that's been silicone sealed up. So I went looking in the gully and there's another hole in the roof, which is kind of annoying. So we'll clean up the gutter. We'll clean that out. I'm going to take a bit of metal, put it over the top, probably about that size, put it over the top just to seal it off so it can't leak anymore. Obviously going to put a plate over that one. And we're going to fit a plate on the back of them as well. Right, so in true do-it-yourself fashion, I used a potato sack, whatever you want to call it, as the backing plate for it, so I didn't get spray paint all over the bench. But the big plate there is going to be for the roof hole. Then the two you saw getting sprayed there, that is for the bumper, and that is for the little bit in the roof that I discovered when I took the rail off. So all we need to do now is let those three pieces dry, and then we'll start fitting them to the car. There's one more bit we actually need to spray paint, or cover in primer, should I say. So this is, I'll take the branding off it, because the amount they charged me for this, they shouldn't get a promotion for free. So I'm using anti-rust primer, mainly because I don't want it to rust. But you can see, if you ignore all this, try to get all this stuff off, in the hole it's actually a little bit rusty. So what I'm going to do just now, the reason for the masking tape, is I'm going to use a wee bit of that primer and basically just cover the inside of there and all the bits I've taken off, and all the paint I've taken off in an effort to get that stuff off. Right, so the first couple of bits are in, looking perfect, sealed all the way around, and that one's now done as well. The only problem is I've lost my tripod, because it's currently kind of holding that thing in place, and unfortunately it's going to be there for the next 14 hours. So I'm going to crack on with this one off camera, because I've got nothing to hold my camera up anymore. And I will see you guys again once it's all set. Right, so it's actually more than 14 hours later, because obviously the garage in the Scottish autumn is not exactly warm, and the stuff is hard. It's just a wee bit, I don't know, it still feels a bit sticky, but it'll definitely be alright to sand. So let's get that removed, and what we'll do is we'll start off on the front we'll start off on the rear bumper. Right, so that was an unmitigated disaster. I'm not going to show you the footage from it, because there'll be too many YouTube haters out there telling me what I did and didn't do right. So it's in now. We made a bit of mess of the bumper, that's fine, it's going to get sprayed anyway. But I'm going to go find my catty now, because I'm not dealing with fiberglass again. I hate fiberglass. So this is all finished. It's nice and smooth now. No high spots in it at all. I had to put another layer of catty on it because there was a hole there that didn't fill with the first round of Catty, but that's awesome. The little scratches there are all sanded out, so they're braw as well. Sorry, braw's the Scottish word for good, I should have said that. And the boot's great as well. So now what we need to do is we need to tack cloth everything. And a tack cloth is basically just something to remove all the paint and Catty dust. So we'll tack cloth it, mask it off, hit it with some filler primer, and we'll be good to go. Now, if you happen to be watching this and you're a professional panel beater or a spray painter or anything like that, I apologise. You know, I'm not a professional panel beater, I'm not a professional spray painter. So yeah, I apologise in advance. Please don't be too mean to me in the comments. But the coverage was pretty good. It looks a bit patchy in the light, but it'll do the job, I think. Maybe let it dry and give it one more coat, and then we'll wet sand it. Same with this one here, and same with the bumper. And you'll notice, for all those of you who are not professional spray painters, I used a bit of plastic for this side, a bit of foam for this side because I ran out of foam. And that's basically just to catch all the overspray. If you see all this stuff along here, that's to try and catch that so it doesn't go in the paintwork of the car. Because really all we actually want the primer for is to fill in all the gaps that were left over with the Catty. We're not interested in it actually lying on the paint. Going to deal with that later. So we'll let that dry, maybe give it one more coat, give it a wet sand, and we should be good to go, ready for paint. So yeah guys, I think that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode. Not sure whether it was a lesson in how to fill holes and scratches in paintwork and bodywork, or whether it was a lesson in how not to do it. So if you're watching this and you're a professional panel beater, can you give me any tips and tricks on what I did wrong, what I did right? It'd be super helpful, because like I say, I'm still learning. It's been a long time since I've done it. So any help would be very much appreciated. But other than that, I mean, that feels smooth. It feels amazing. Scratches are removed and the rear bumper looks good. So I think we're on to a winner. And I just noticed, which you can't see in real life, but I can see right there, a dent. So I'm gonna have to fix that. If you're new around here, click the subscribe button for me. That would be awesome. So close to 2,000 subscribers, it's unreal. And in the next episode, what we're gonna do is we're either going to paint this ourselves, or I'm gonna get somebody professional to do it. Haven't quite figured out which yet, because I really want the roof to look amazing. So yeah, leave a comment down below if you want me to paint it myself, or if you think I should get a professional to do it. And I will catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.